Good, beautiful. So, welcome everyone. Just so incredibly excited that you had the call to be here today. I'm really hearing that this is an extremely important event and work that we are doing that a lot of us are really being called to do. And as many of you know, I have a brand new baby. So I was up in the middle of the night nursing at like 3 a.m. And all of a sudden I just started getting these like downloads of information that we are needing serious grid work right now. And as many of us know, we very well are looking out into the collective right now, and we're seeing that everything is being amplified. So we're seeing a huge amplification within the energies, and this is going to continue. So it doesn't matter whether we're stepping into our highest timeline, our abundant timeline, our new earth timeline, this is being amplified. But at the same time that this is being amplified, a lot of the density on the planet is also going to look like it is being amplified as well. So there, of course, is a lot of information and buzz and distraction that goes on regularly within the collective. And one of the main messages that came in was that we are so incredibly powerful. And part of the importance of this event is for me to remind you that you are powerful, for me to remind you that your consciousness matters, that your energy matters. And we really want to be spending some time right now in reflection and asking ourselves, what imprint do I want to be putting into the collective? So the way that this has really been shown to me is that we have our consciousness, and we've been very conditioned and programmed to be busy, to be distracted, to be on autopilot, to have the to-do list, to do all of these things. And this also creates a level of unconsciousness where we are feeding our energy to different situations, places, things, events, and energies. And as the external continues to get louder, we want to become even more conscious of what we are consenting to, and even more conscious as to what we are consenting to also on an energetic consciousness level. So they're saying right now, where attention goes, energy flows. And this is a message that I get quite often to remind myself and also to remind others: where your attention goes, energy flows. So as different narratives and as certain events are amplified, when we are spending a lot of time paying attention to these types of events and situations and things that are playing out, we are unconsciously, by accident, giving our energy and our attention to those things, which allows it to be able to carry on longer. It amplifies the energy, and it can create larger things than what we maybe actually want to be consenting to. So this is part of the thing, is that we've also been conditioned that we can't make a difference, right? Who am I? I can't make a difference. I'm just little old me. And there's all this big stuff happening out there in the world, in the collective. And how can I make a difference? And the thing is that we can make a difference with our consciousness. We make a difference with our consciousness. Good, beautiful. So yeah, is the volume okay? I see that somebody here is saying that it's a little bit low. Hopefully you can hear me. It's good for you. Okay, perfect, Stephanie. Thank you. So we can make a difference with our consciousness and with our energy. And this is part of what we are being invited to do right now. So what does this look like? How do we do this? Because let's be honest, we're seeing some pretty big things happening throughout the world. So when we have these big global events, these big disasters, these big things that are happening, then we want to see it. We want to educate ourselves about it. We want to understand what is happening. But how do we do that? Well, we are holding the energy and the vibration of, I do not consent to this. So this can be a little bit tricky and confusing for us. So the way that we do this is by first, we always want to make sure that when we are looking at some of these big things within our collective reality, that we are grounded inside of our own being first. So if we are unconsciously scrolling our news feed and reading all of the news, and we're unconsciously just flicking on, the channel, or we're unconsciously having conversations, and we're not realizing that we are also directing our energy into these things, then we are accidentally, unconsciously feeding it, right? So when we become conscious and we say, okay, I'm going to first ground my energy. I am going to stand inside of my energy, my body, and my vibration as a sovereign being. Then this is the state in which they're showing me literally like we can walk and we have our own inner peace. Well, chaos is going on around us. So it's like, we're seeing like the chaos going on, everything's destructing, the fires are happening all around us, and we are just walking with this calmness and this peace. And how do we do that? By grounding into our body and by remembering that you are sovereign. So you're seeing the chaos happening, but it's not affecting you on an emotional level, on an energetic level, on a mental level, even though we are witnessing it. So we begin to step outside of it, where we become the witness to it without it actually influencing how we are reacting or responding to what we are seeing and experiencing on an external level. And this is mastery too, guys, right? So some of what I'm talking about right now is when we really begin to embody the self-mastery of this ascension process. We begin to embody the self-mastery of our higher self. We begin to embody the self-mastery of our new earth leadership role. So I've been posting about new earth leaders on Instagram more often because this is really part of my mission and my calling, right? Is to begin to assist the collective in more people stepping into a new earth leadership role. And I had someone say, well, what is that? How do I do that? And this is how we do it. When we begin to ground into our being and we become that peace, calm, love, and light inside of everything. So the external doesn't influence us in the same level. So with that, we again are being reminded how powerful we are. So the reason why this GridWork meditation came in as well is because, of course, some of us are seeing what's going on in Hawaii and Maui. We've also heard a lot about, of course, Ukraine and all of these different places. There's like, I don't think that there is one country who's not necessarily experiencing some form of upheaval right now. And you can very well look at your own country or relate to this in just what you've been seeing on the external level. So we want to see it, but become unaffected of it and say, I see you, but I do not consent. I do not consent to any agendas. I do not consent to any lower vibrational energies. I do not consent to a doomsday timeline. I do not consent. I consent to the highest timeline for humanity. I consent to New Earth. I consent to Blessed Gaia 5D New Earth, right? So we want to begin to put our imprint.
Did you hear me?
Collective.
Oh.
Right? Just a second, I'm going to make sure we're all muted. Make sure that we're putting our imprint into the collective. So a lot of us are seeing a lot of shifts on an individual level within our own realities. And we talk about this a lot in us up-leveling, us stepping into a higher reality, right? or us is already experiencing, some of us as individuals are already experiencing a 5D reality. So what happens in the way that I guess we can linearize something that's very multidimensional, because this is way more multidimensional than how I'm going to essentially describe it to you. But this is the way that we can begin to linearize this concept so that we can cognitively understand what is taking place whenever it comes to the collective reality. So we have you as an individual, and you are creating your own reality on an individual level. And say you have began to embody some of these higher frequencies. You are now on an individual level experiencing a 5D New Earth reality. And you've tapped into this. Then as your imprint or your blueprint on the collective, you begin to put out a stamp of an A. Right? So you have an A stamp on the collective. And then we have others who very well are more unconscious. They are experiencing more lack, more victim mentality. They are struggling and they are living in an unconscious state. They are putting an imprint of a B on the collective. Right? I hope this makes sense. This is kind of the breakdown of something multidimensional. So we are putting we're putting an A on the collective, and there's others putting a B on the collective. And then we basically take a median of all of the different stamps that are on the collective, and this is what creates the collective reality as a whole. So the more and more of us who begin to wake up, continue to do our work, raise our vibration, become more embodied as a sovereign being, the more of us who are going to be putting a collective A stamp into the pot. And this will begin to shift the collective reality. They're also saying, just for clarity as well, is that there is more than just an A or a B stamp. There's lots of different stamps that are being put into the collective right now. This is kind of the extreme of like highest and lowest, but there's also many stamps in between. So we want to become conscious of what imprint am I putting into the collective? Because I know every single, person who is here right now, we're all saying, well, I don't want to put, an unconscious stamp into the collective, right? Of course, like we are here. We want the highest timeline for humanity. We want our ascension to be as easy and as graceful and as loving as possible. So this is part of the reason why that consciousness matters. This is why you are powerful. So when we begin to remember that you are powerful, that your consciousness matters, and that there is also an agenda to hijack your consciousness, to distract you, to make you confused, to make you busy beyond measure, so that you are not conscious of the stamp that you are putting into the collective. And every single one of us needs to begin to consciously say, no, I reject that, and I do not consent. Right? I do not consent to my consciousness being hijacked or being used for any lower vibrational agendas. So through our meditation today that we are going to be doing, we are going to be, let me just see here. So through our meditation today, because they still haven't downloaded the full meditation to me. My guides have been doing this to me recently. And this is just me learning again as my soul continues to evolve. This is me learning to trust even more that the messages and the information is going to come through. But with that being said, regardless, we are going to be traveling on an adventure into New Earth. We will get to experience New Earth, and we are going to receive a gift in which we are going to bring back to the planet with us. And we are going to be putting a conscious imprint into Gaia that we do not consent to lower vibrational energies, and that we do not consent to lower vibrational timelines, and we do not consent to manipulation, greed, any of these things. we consent to the highest timeline for the highest good of all of humanity. This is what we want to be bringing forward right now. So every single person who is here, right? Number one, you matter, your energy matters, and the work that you're going to be doing today is actually making a difference. So this is important that we really remember how powerful we are. Really, really remember how powerful we are. Just want to see if there's any other quick messages that want to come through for us before we hop into our GridWork meditation. So there is going to be as well, I'm hearing, a second GridWork meditation. And this is going to be happening. So I invite you guys, I haven't put it together yet. But I've had a couple healers reach out to me saying, we need to make this bigger than what we're doing here today, right? So we are going to pull together a panel of maybe I'm hearing 7 to 9 different healers, and they're going to pull on their platforms and everybody who they have in their communities to bring forward another GridWork meditation where hopefully we will have, thousands of people coming together to do this work, because there is a lot of timeline shifts that are happening right now on the collective level. And this work is going to make a really big difference in us continuing to hold the highest vibrational timeline. So here's the other kind of missing piece to this as well, is that ascension is happening, right? New Earth is already there and available to us. What is happening right now is that we are bringing New Earth forward for the entire collective. It's there, it's created, it's available to us, but it needs to still be anchored within the physical reality. So on an energetic level, it's like completely done. On a dimensional level, it is completely done. But it is up to us as the New Earth leaders and as the way showers and the awakened ones to quite literally begin to actually anchor these frequencies and to make aligned action to bring this forward within a very physical way. We are not escaping. We're not going somewhere else. We're not jumping out of this place. This is also, to me, one of is a false light story that we're going somewhere else. I do not see it this way. That never has resonated with me. What resonates with me is that New Earth is coming here in our physical reality, and that it is up to us to bring it forward. So with that being said, I was going somewhere with that, just a second, is that it's already finished, it's already done. So what we are doing through this type of work and through GridWork is that we are aligning to the highest timeline, because we have multiple different roads that we could take as a collective to reach New Earth. New Earth is going to be happening no matter what. But there is some roads that we could go down where it's going to be a little bit more difficult, where the collective may have some bumpier roads along the way. And then there is those roads that we could be choosing as a collective where this is going to be happening the easiest way, within the most flow, right? Where this is going to feel more natural. So when we begin to actually anchor these frequencies into the physical, and then you, me, everybody who is here is all stepping up into their New Earth leadership roles and creating actual action within the physical to begin to bring this forward for the highest timeline and with the most ease for the entire collective, right? And that's what we want to be doing. We could be sitting back and saying, well, I know I'm a starseed. I know I'm a light worker, so that's enough. And one of the downloads that I've gotten in the last week or so, and it's not to discourage you guys, but it's not enough. Because we have to embody what that actually means. We have to begin to put it into the physical. So we're really being invited right now to step into that physical action to bring new earth forward. And that's part of what you guys are doing by showing up here. So I want to also applaud you for that, because this took action. You had to fill out your name, type in your email, go through your email, find a link, right? Carve out time, get on a call to show up to assist. That actually took action for you to be here today. And that's no small thing. So there, I'm like hearing like applause right now, and celebration right now, from all of your guides and from those higher realms for you being here today. So that is so exciting. And like now they're giving me chills and like making me want to dance. So that is absolutely amazing. And we are very much so encouraged to continue to make that action. Continue to make action, continue to follow your own inner compass, and really coming back to the inner compass. I could talk all day about these messages. We got to get into the meditation. So let's just take a moment. We'll begin to tune in. I have us live here on Instagram as well. So I'm going to close you guys out. I appreciate you so much for being here and listening to some of these channeled messages. And if you want the replay, make sure that you guys go to the link in my bio for the meditation, or into my story so you can get the replay for the meditation. Love you all. Thank you for being here. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So let's just take a moment here. We will close our eyes. And beginning to just tune in to your own energy, beginning to sit your energy and your consciousness back into the seat of your own being. So we can begin to draw all of your energy back to you now from any people, places, situations, events, to-do lists, or stories. We bring our energy back to ourselves now, and feeling your energy coming back to you as we just begin to rest and to ground into your present moment. And you can take an inhale here and an exhale. We'll begin to anchor our energy down into the ground as we ground into the earth. So feeling a tap root or roots growing out of your feet or your hips, your pelvis, your lower chakras, growing down, down, down through the floor, through the earth, through all of the layers of Gaia, all the way down into the center of the earth. And taking an inhale here and exhale as you feel your energy become more and more grounded. Good, and just breathing in and exhale. And we'll begin here by just releasing anything that is not serving us. So you can always set the intention of, yes, I'm ready to release any lower frequencies, energies, beings that are within my space or my body or energy field. And just giving consent to this now. I clear and release any and all negative energies, thoughts, curses, spells, black magic, or anything else that is not in my highest good. I release this now. Inhale and exhale, feeling these energies being removed from your space. I clear and release any and all negative energies, thoughts, curses, spells, black magic, entities, or anything else that is not in my highest good. I release this from my body and from my energy and from all aspects of my multidimensional being. I clear and release any and all now. Any negative or heavy energies I may have been carrying from any person, entity, situation, or experience, I now ask to be released for the highest good of all. Taking an inhale and exhale, release, 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 letting go, feeling yourself become more relaxed as you breathe. Inhale and exhale, releasing any tension in the body. All negative beings, distractions, and interference, we ask you to leave now. We call forward the one true source consciousness to be here with us and to blanket each of us in a layer of loving protection. We'll invite Spirit in to join us here. Creator, infinite Spirit, Mother, Father, divine, and source of all that is, we are here before you as instruments of healing, and we offer ourselves as servants of the light. We ask that only the highest healing frequencies flow to us and through us for the highest good of our soul, of this group, of all of humanity, and for Mother Gaia. Taking an inhale and exhale, we release anything that is ready to be released, and we receive anything that is ready to be received. Please send us your angels, archangels, saints, prophets, guides, and ascended masters of the highest resonance to be here with us and to help us in this activation for the crystalline grid of New Earth. Feeling all of the beautiful guides surrounding you now, feeling the energy and the vibration going higher and higher as you breathe this inhale and exhale, relaxing even more. And continuing to just connect in with your breath as you become relaxed and as we begin to go on a journey together. And as you begin your journey, you begin to see a stairway laid out in front of you. And this is a staircase that winds in a spiral motion going up, 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 into the heavens, into the high vibrational energies, into the galaxy. We begin to move up this staircase now. And just using your imagination and noticing what the staircase looks like. Maybe it's made of crystal, of clouds, of marble. And as you climb your staircase going higher and higher, you begin to get excited for your journey, knowing that you are now traveling into a higher dimensional reality where you will experience New Earth. We move higher and higher, continuing your journey up, up, up into 5D New Earth. And as you continue to move up your staircase, you see a beautiful light-filled door. And this door has a glowing light radiating out of it. And you move closer and closer and higher toward the door now. And standing in front of the door. And as you stand there, this light shines upon your being. And you can feel your own energy and vibration beginning to activate and beginning to go even higher now. Breathe this energy into your lungs, into your body, allowing it to nourish you and fill you with loving frequencies of healing. Inhale and exhale. And when you are ready, you can begin to open your door and you step forward into New Earth, into heaven on earth, blessed Gaia. We step forward now and just take a moment and we'll bring our attention to our feet, seeing your feet planted within New Earth, seeing them placed on the ground. Breathing and just noticing the frequencies here as all fear has been left behind you, all resistance has been left behind you, and you feel an overwhelming flow of expansion, of grace, of love, and of open air. Breathe this air in. It feels fresh to your nose as it hits you. And it begins to light you up even more. And we invite you to begin to explore now. As you begin to walk through New Earth, 5D New Earth, heaven on earth, blessed Gaia, look out, begin to explore with a childlike curiosity as we tap into all of our abilities to see, hear, feel, experience, allowing your imagination to guide you. And begin to notice if there's any architecture that's maybe new to you, any animals, any emotions or frequencies, colors. And as you begin to explore, you go deeper and deeper into New Earth now, where you will find a crystal. And this is like a beautiful stone that is about the size of your palm, maybe a little larger, maybe a little smaller. And just whatever it is that you see here, moving toward this crystal now. And many of us will have different colors to our crystal. You're invited to use the color that comes to mind first, as your color has healing frequencies and codes within it that resonate with your individual starseed being, light worker being. And picking up this crystal, we hold this crystal with two hands, bringing it close to your heart, knowing that it is a treasure within New Earth. And we hold this crystal. We begin to raise it up above our head, holding it with two hands above your head, stretching your arms out straight toward all of the higher realms above 5D New Earth. And we call in the one true source consciousness to come down from the 12D realms and to enter into this crystal now. And as you see and feel the frequencies above you, you see almost like a lightning bolt of energy coming down into the crystal and lighting it up, where it begins to radiate a new frequency of light that is so bright to the eyes, bright to the being. Feeling the chills, the warmth, the love that comes down from these higher energies and these higher realms now. Holding this crystal above your head as it begins to activate and fill even more with higher vibrational energies and frequencies. Inhale and exhale, and we hold it here until our crystal is completely full. Allowing these energies to continue to pour in and bringing this crystal gently down toward your heart, where you hold it in front of your heart now. And as this crystal makes contact to your heart, it begins to activate the portal of New Earth that each of us hold within our heart space. It clears away any lower vibrational energies, sorrows, pains, grief, sadness from within the heart, and lights it up in the remembrance of your divine power. And as we stand here, remembering our power and with no fear inside of our being, we look down below our feet where we see the globe of Earth. And as we look at Earth from this outer perspective, take a moment and notice maybe some of the frequencies of Earth, noticing any of the dark clouds, any of the heaviness, looking at the density, the 3D matrix. And as we look at it, we know that we stand outside of it and that it does not affect the energy and the vibration that we hold in any moment. It holds zero power over us, but we look down at it as we witness it, and we see the 3D matrix, any negative agendas or any energies that are not serving the planet. And in this, we look down and we say, I see you, and I do not consent. And you can repeat this as many times within your mind as you would like, or you can say it out loud now. I see you and I do not consent. Breathing in those beautiful higher energies from your crystal into your heart as we are completely unaffected by what we see. These lower energies do not penetrate or enter your body in any capacity. They are completely outside of you as you stand in your own power and sovereignty. But we still see it. And we say again, I see you and I do not consent. And with this, we begin to fly. We begin to soar down toward Earth like the superstar being that you are, like the hero of the story. We move down to Earth now, holding on to this beautiful crystal of light. We bring this crystal back to the earth as you find yourself flying down to the earth and you begin to plant yourself down on earth in any place that you are initially called. Maybe you move toward your home, you move toward your country, or maybe you find yourself in a sacred space of earth or somewhere you have never been before. Allow this to come forward now, knowing it is right, knowing it is perfect, knowing that this is exactly where your crystal is meant to go. Breathe in this moment as you begin to come back down to the earth. And as your feet come down onto the earth, you see the crystalline grid of new Gaia begin to activate. You see the ley lines and the chakras of earth lighting up with these beautiful high frequency energies. You can see the lines, the grids, the layers of light that are inside of the planet. Inhale and exhale, and we'll begin to dig a hole. Dig down into the earth. It can be a shallow hole, it maybe is a deep hole. So we begin to dig down into Gaia, finding the perfect depth where we will lay our beautiful divine 12D star and crystal into the earth. Laying this crystal here now. Inhale and exhale. And as you do so, you see the crystalline grid of new earth becoming stronger, lighting up more and more with the beautiful healing frequencies that you bring here. And you can bury your crystal in the earth, covering it with the beautiful soil, and noticing how even the grass grows greener, the trees grow stronger, and how the colors that you see all around you begin to become even more vibrant as you anchor the frequencies of new earth here now. And you step forward so that you are standing right in that patch of earth, that patch of grass that you just covered, and you stand right over top of your crystal. Standing on top of your crystal now. And we begin to release our old grounding cord. You can cut your grounding cord with a psychic knife or a crystal, releasing any of the matrix programming, conditioning, denser energies, or any of our attachments that we still hold to the matrix or to any 3D lower vibrational earth realities. We release these now. And we begin to feel a new grounding cord begin to grow. It grows out of your feet, out of your hips, out of your being, and it is healthier. It has a light to it. And it grows down into the earth. And it begins to wrap itself around this crystal that you planted in the earth, where you become one with the crystalline grid, where you become one and you tap into these higher energies, these higher realities, and breathe, inhale and exhale. And we begin to, like a straw, suck these energies up from the crystalline grid of new earth that is fully activated and anchored into Gaia. We pull these energies up into our feet, into our legs, into our hips, as it begins to come higher and higher into your body now, helping to raise your frequency, helping to activate your DNA, getting higher into your shoulders, your heart, your arms, coming up over your neck, your head, your face. And as this beautiful crystalline frequency touches your body, anything that is of a lower vibration, anything that is not serving you is instantly transmuted and washed away for the highest good of all. And as we stand within this beautiful frequency of new earth, we breathe it into our lungs as it touches every cell, every organ, every strand of DNA begins to light up more and more now. We begin to tap into our heart. You can even place a hand on your heart here. And you are invited to remember that your heart is your highest timeline. Your heart is the portal to new earth. And through the heart, you walk the path to new earth. And through the heart, you, as the new earth leader that you are, embody and anchor the frequencies of new earth. And we light up this timeline for you now, so it's crystal clear. And we invite our higher self and our higher heart to bring forward any divine messages that our being needs to hear. You can open up your being. Maybe it's a sound, a word, a visualize, an image, a feeling, an emotion. What is the message from your higher self? And taking an inhale in and exhale, knowing that this message is meant with so much love, so much reverence. And as we stand here, we set the intention that we only consent to the most loving frequencies for humanity, that we only consent to the most loving frequencies for Gaia and the earth. We only consent to the most graceful, highest timeline for all of humanity and for Mother Gaia. And if you have an intention that you would like to set, we invite you to set this intention now. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. And when you are ready, you can give thanks to your loving guides, to the new earth energy, to your higher self for calling you here. You can begin to let this practice go, feeling yourself coming back down into your body, feeling your hands, your toes, your breath. You can begin to move your neck, your shoulders, your arms, expanding maybe out, opening your heart. Beautiful, everyone. So I invite you, if you have any messages that came through from your higher self or your higher heart, maybe you may like to jot that down as you come out of your meditation so that you have it there for you to come back to while it's still fresh. If you feel called, you can share it in the chat with all of us, or you can let us know how you're feeling as you come out of this meditation. I'm like, oh, this is so much fun. Claire says, beautiful practice, Rachel. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Claire, for being here. Good, wonderful, everyone. So as you leave your practice today, there's a couple just reminders as we were working with definitely a very high frequency. So you are invited to make sure that you drink lots of water. Some of this meditation may act as an activation for some of us, where we may feel, some tingling, maybe a little bit of a purge of some emotions or heaviness that we have inside of our being still. So we're invited to continue to ground throughout the day, getting out actually in nature. Getting your bare feet on the ground would be a wonderful thing for you to do today, as well as, drinking lots of water. If you're finding that you're hungry as you finish, it takes energy to move energy. So often if you're finding you're hungry, it's because you're invited to go eat more food to help fuel your body so that you have more energy available to you to continue to experience any shifts that you are experiencing in your own being as well. Because through this meditation, we also align you to the new earth grid. So some of us may have been coming here today and needing assistance in, this next jump in stepping into our own personal new earth reality. So again, this really can act as an activation for you. So beautiful. Yeah. And if we're having a lot of tech issues through this meditation, I've experienced a lot of interference in general and just being able to host this with all of you. So we are invited over the next 3 to 4 days. We may need to do some extra energy clearing and clearing of our homes as well. So, you can do this using sage or Palo Santo to clear your actual space, because number one, we will be doing a lot of purging, but also because we are housing that really, really high frequency, we want to make sure that we have that kind of blanket of loving light around us. So we're really only consenting to allowing that into our space. So we may need to assist that in doing some extra energy clearing over the next, couple days and things. So yeah, the next week or so. Good. I feel so much joy and love. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that, Laura. Wonderful. I saw a big blanket across the whole earth. And seeing so much love for humanity. Huge clearing. Thank you. A lot of purging throughout that. Wonderful. Yes. Good. So yeah, as we continue to purge, that's part of the reason why that grounding is so important, because Gaia really is here to support us through this process. So we really want to make sure that we are relying on her and connecting to her, but also that we are connecting to God and to source energy, because he will be bringing in that frequency as well as the father of this process as well. So we really want to be relying on the Divine Mother and the Divine Father as we continue to move through this ascension process. So thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate it. There's so many beautiful messages going into the chat. But if you would like to reach out and just, say a quick review or any of your comments that you want to share with me, I always appreciate hearing from all of you. So you can do that through DMs on Instagram, or you can do that as well just through email. So you can do that at rachelsbutterflyeffect@gmail.com. And hopefully you'll be able to join us again for another one of these activations. And of course, I love giving activations, so I'm sure there will be more to come. So thank you. I appreciate every single one of you for showing up and doing this here as well. Okay, sending you so much love and light.